information related with COVID-19 you have heard many a times, and you all are aware of each and everything. But today we will be discussing the information. We will be finding out the details about this situation or about this disease in detail. And how we are going to do that? By our critical thinking skill. Okay, so now this word critical thinking, you have heard this term before also by your subject teachers, by your class teacher, or few days back the news was there in the newspaper that in the board examination students critical thinking skills will be analyzed. Okay, so you are aware two types of questions will be there. One will be objective, another will be descriptive. So objective, that means in multiple choice questions, your critical thinking skills will be analyzed. Okay, so when this will be analyzed, what is the meaning of critical thinking skill? Are you aware of? Anyone who wants to speak, please raise your hand so that I can give permission to unmute your mic and you can speak one by one. Alok is saying something. Yes, Alok, unmute your mic.
Ma'am, it means to think deeply in any topic.
It means to think deeply in any topic. Yes. Any other thing? Gurukriti?
Ma'am, analyzing everything and then thinking over it again and again.
Okay, analyzing anything and then thinking over it again and again, or to behave in this specific way. That means after analysis. Yes. Any other thing? If anyone wants to speak, please unmute your mic or raise your hand. Padmashri? Yes.
Ma'am, checking all the aspects regarding it.
Yes, checking all the aspects regarding it. Very true. Any other person who wants to speak? Okay, so children, when someone is saying, when your teachers, when the board is saying that they will be assessing your critical thinking skill. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that it is not the rote learning, or the few things are there which you mug up and which you learn and you give the examination and you will be assessed on that. It will not be there. They will analyze that if you have received some information, you have made a few concepts, so that is on the basis of what? That means, are you able to analyze the information objectively? Are you able to find out more information about that? Whatever you are saying, do you have an in-depth knowledge of that particular thing? Okay, so these things are what? These things are the areas of critical thinking skills. Okay, so when we talk about critical thinking, it is our ability to analyze and interpret information objectively and take reasoned judgment. Okay, so whenever we are doing something, whenever we are believing something, so we should have a proper information, proper data, proper statistics, or proper reasons behind that decision or that concept or that idea. Okay, so now COVID-19 situation is there. You have received a lot of information. So today we will be analyzing the data, the information of COVID-19 which you have with the critical thinking skill. Okay, so whatever question I am asking, please feel free to give the answer. I am not asking for the exact definition. I am asking for the ideas which you have, the information which you have in your mind, and the things which you have understood. Okay, so when you will speak, we will critically evaluate it, we will analyze, and we will see that up to what extent the information is right, or how many sources are there behind that, the reasons are there behind that. Okay, so don't feel bad if someone is speaking and I'm saying that okay, up to this extent your information is correct. So don't feel bad. I'm not here to find out your mistakes or to pinpoint your mistakes. What we are doing, we all are doing, we are evaluating, we are analyzing, we are interpreting the information which you have related with COVID-19. So two purposes it will solve. One, to give the awareness for the COVID-19, and second, that will help you to understand and practice the critical thinking skill. Fine. Okay. So my first question is, you have heard the word pandemic so many times. Okay, from March 2019 till now, almost for 8 to 9 months, you have heard this word pandemic. So what does that exactly mean? Who will tell me the answer of this question? Please raise your hand so that I can ask you to unmute your mic. Please raise your hand so that I can see. Okay, Dipesh. Yes, Dipesh?
Ma'am, which affect the whole world?
The thing which affect the whole world. Okay. Adil? Adil?
May I speak in Hindi?
Yes, beta, you may.
Mahamari.
Okay, in it is known as Mahamari in Hindi, but what does that mean? Why it is called Mahamari? Okay, now it is Padmashri. Yes, beta, unmute your mic.
Ma'am, the spread of a disease across a country or many countries, and it is called pandemic only when after a certain amount the disease is spreading greatly.
Okay, yes. So one thing is spread of disease and over a large, population or in different countries. So you term it pandemic. So now, children, whatever we are listening now, you have heard this term many a times, but do we have the the proper knowledge and the proper idea of what that situation is? Good morning, Archit. So there are two terms, epidemic and pandemic. Okay, so what are these two two concepts or the situations? If I tell you, so you can see here on the screen epidemic. Okay, so what is an epidemic? Epidemic is the rapid spread of a disease through a population in a relatively short amount of time. So when a disease is spreading in a population in a short amount of time, you can say it is the epidemic. Okay, so epidemic is what? It is the situation. It is the situation when the disease is spreading in a short amount of time in the population. Okay, and what about pandemic? So pandemic is an epidemic that has spread over a large region of the world. Okay, so epidemic, again you have understood, it is the situation. So when that situation spreads over a large region of the world, that affects the large region of the world, that is known as pandemic. Okay, so for example, the Spanish flu of 1918 to 1920 that infected 500 million people. That means about 1/4 of the Earth population at that time and killed an estimated 50 million people. So here on the screen you can see the picture of hospital patients with the Spanish flu 1919. So you can see all the beds are full, and in the same way all the countries have developed the COVID special care units or COVID wards are there. So you can understand the situation when the pandemic is there that affects a large region of the world. And what is the current pandemic? that is COVID-19, you all know. So I am giving a brief intro, information about that. In December 2019, a novel coronavirus was identified in Wuhan, China. This information you have heard many a times. Then the virus has since been named SARS-CoV-2, that is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2. And the disease caused by this virus name is SARS-CoV-2, that is called COVID-19. And in March 11, 2020, now you can see why it is called pandemic. That because in short amount of time, in December 2019, the virus was identified in Wuhan, and in March 11, that means in 3 months of the time, that disease spread to 114 countries. And after that, the World Health Organization declared it to be a pandemic likely to spread across the globe. And you yourself has witnessed the, the spread of the coronavirus in January and February. Few countries were affected, and when the news was there in the news channel, we were celebrating Holi and the examinations, board examinations, and the our local examinations were going on, that we were on the normal routine. But when it started spreading, you can see here on the screen the infected area, which are shown by blue ink. So the dark part is where the more severe cases and more cases are there. So in February, only a small portion of the world was affected. Then in April, June, and in August, you can see the situation. All the every part of the world is affected by this disease. Okay. So now this was the that is why it is known as pandemic. Okay, the coronavirus. Now, who will tell me that why the virus is called coronavirus? Because you are getting the information from different sources. So two questions are there. One is why that virus is called coronavirus, and the second is which part of the body that virus affects. Okay, so Vicky is saying something. Yes, Vicky, unmute your mic.
Ma'am, its structure is crown-like. So, ma'am, it is called coronavirus.
Very good. Any other person who wants to speak? And Vicky, why that structure is like crown-like structure? Do you have any detailed information about that?
No, ma'am, that I don't know.
So from where you have heard this word? Or you have got this information?
Ma'am, when I was searching its full form, ma'am, full form of COVID, ma'am, then I got.
Okay, yes. So the information which you have is correct. Any other person who wants to speak or who wants to share any information related with this? Why that virus is known as coronavirus? Please raise your hand so that I can see who is speaking. Okay, now I am sharing the screen again. So many times you have heard the word coronavirus. So what it is? What is coronavirus? The group of viruses. Okay, you all have studied the structure of the viruses, bacteria, and all. So the different type of viruses are there. So a group of viruses that is named for club-shaped protein spikes. Okay, so if you see this coronavirus via an electron microscope, okay, you can see in the protein spikes on the outer surface of the virus. Okay, on the outer surface of the virus, the protein spikes are there, which create the appearance of corona. Corona is crown, so it is giving the appearance of crown. So that is why the viruses who are having the protein spikes outside on the outside wall of their body, that is known as coronavirus. Okay. And the coronaviruses are a group of viruses that cause several diseases in mammals and birds, and that is the reason you have heard the information in news channels that that is being spread by bats, and the Chinese people drink the soup of the bats, and because of this, that disease is spreading in China and all. So the coronaviruses are the group of viruses that causes several diseases in mammals and birds, and in humans the coronavirus is that causes respiratory infections that are usually mild, including some cases of common cold. So the area which is affected is respiratory system, okay, that causes respiratory infections. Okay, now who will tell me how that that disease is spread? You all have received the different different information related with the spread of that disease. So there are 21 students, so 21 different reasons you can share. Yes, Urukirti?
Ma'am, when an infected person comes in contact with a healthy person, the transmission of the disease is more.
When a person the infected person comes in the contact of a healthy person, so the transmission of disease is there, but how? Padmashri, think and then come to the point. Yes.
When small droplets from nose, mouth, or are expelled after sneezing or coughing or tucking.
Okay, yes, it is there. Any other person who wants to give the information? Urukirti wants to speak again. Yes, beta.
Whenever the infected person comes in physical contact with anything, the particles get struck on the matter, or the healthy person gets the disease. The disease is
transmitted there. Okay, any other person other than Padmashri and Urukirti who wants to speak? Raise your hand. You have heard many things which you can speak, how it is transmitted. Okay, so you have heard that it is transmitted by vegetables also, when you are going to a shopping mall, and all the trial rooms and the changing rooms were closed, because they were telling that in this way also people may be infected. When you are in crowded places, when you are touching the different surfaces, so n numbers of things people are saying, but exactly how it is transmitted. So if we pinpoint what is there, okay, so as Urukirti and Padmashri both were saying, that the infection spreads from person to person via respiratory droplets, okay, usually through coughing and sneezing. And evidences shows that the virus can be spread even by people who show no symptoms and seem healthy, but are actually infected. Okay, so this information, like we have discussed this earlier, that the virus is there that affects the respiratory system. Okay, so that the virus is there in respiratory system, and the respiratory droplets which are coming out from our body by speaking, or usually by sneezing and coughing, that is transmitted, that thing like creates problem for other people. Fine. So now critically evaluate this situation. When we are saying this, okay, critically evaluate the situation. That means analyze, put your logic and find out more. Think on that, that can we say that the disease is transmitted by air? the virus is there in the air, and when we breathe, we get into the contact. Can we say this thing? Bhupender, do you want to speak something?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Mute your mic then. Yes. And please don't go for the Google search to find out more. We are analyzing your information, the concepts which you have, the ideas, the information, whatever you have. We are evaluating it. Okay, and that is the purpose of critical thinking skill. Whatever I am thinking, whatever I am believing, do I have the proper information, or is there any gaps, or I need to understand more and I need to get more information related with that. That is the purpose. Are you understanding, children, why we are doing this exercise? Okay, because now you can observe the gaps are there. We are not sure about few things. Okay, so anyone who wants to, okay, Shreya Mishra, yes, Pita, unmute your mic.
Ma'am, usually when a person passes from an area, there are the particles in the air, and the virus, which if he is infected, the virus can sit on those particles, and if a healthy person passes through that area, he may get infected if he breathes it there.
Okay. Yes. So whatever Shreya is saying, I'll elaborate this, that it is not directly transmitted by air. Okay, the virus is not there in the air and we are breathing it. So it is there on the surfaces. It can survive. It is there in the when we are saying that it is transmitted by respiratory droplets. Okay, so when an infected person is sneezing or the infected person is coughing, so how it is transmitted? First thing is what? That it directly falls down, the droplets directly falls down on another person. Okay, so when the close proximity is there, when someone is sitting nearby, or someone is, you are moving, you are going somewhere and someone is crossing. So in that way, when the person sneezed or coughs, so in that way, the particles which are coming out from from his body, that particles are falling on your clothes or on your mouth, nose, and the other surfaces nearby. Okay, so that is the direct exposure of the of that disease. So whenever you are the virus is there on your nose or on your mouth or on your clothes, so we are so habitual of touching our clothes and using it to wipe the mouth or the nose, or so in this way it is transmitted, and the entry points are nose and mouth. So it goes inside the body of the person by these two ways. Okay. Second reason is we are so habitual of using our hands for sneezing and coughing, that the when some infected someone who has the infection, that person is sneezing or coughing by using the hand contains the virus. Okay, and the person is opening the door of the office or of any public place. So the virus is there on that surface. Then he goes to the office where he has to sign with the common pen. So that pen is there. So now the viruses are there on that surface also. He is going somewhere and like he is holding the railings. So the virus is there. So in this way, the seriousness of this disease is because of this situation only, that an infected person can spread the virus on 10 different surfaces, and other 10, 20, 50, 100 people, those who are touching these surfaces, they may get the infection. Okay, so by these two ways, the infection is spreading. First is directly when the respiratory droplets are falling down on the surfaces, on the objects. So that is there, on the vegetables are there, or the things are there. I'm sitting here on the table, so if I sneeze, so the droplets, respiratory droplets are there on the table, and the after me, if 5 people will sit here, they will get the infection. Or indirect infection, that by my hand I am touching the different surfaces, so by my hand the that disease is transmitting in other people. Okay, so you must have seen the videos and the advisories that whenever you sneeze or whenever you cough, so that time you have to use your elbow. You have to sneeze like this. Okay, why? Because in this way your hands will be free from any virus. Okay, when you sneeze, you should do like this. So when you are using your elbow, your hands will be free. So whatever you are touching, the work which you are doing with your hands, that will be free from any virus. So this is the reason. Now tell me one thing, this thing you have understood, it is transmitted by this. Why we are advised to wear mask? What purpose the mask is solving? What is the purpose of wearing the mask? What is the benefit? Why we are advised to wear mask? Who will give me the answer? Other than Uru Kirti and Padma Shri, any other person? And again, I am telling you, you can, give any idea without thinking that it is right or wrong. Whatever concepts you have, whatever information you have, if it is there, please share it with me so that we can evaluate it. Okay, we can evaluate that whether the information or the guidelines or anything that is given by any other person or the government or the health agencies, that is helping us, and if it is helping, that how it is helping, what is the logic behind this? Can anybody tell me what is the logic behind this wearing a mask? Yes, anyone? Padma Shri, Uru Kirti, you can speak if others are not giving the answer. Yes, Uru Kirti?
Ma'am, since we have no vaccine till now, so it is a preventive measure for now that we use mask and sanitizers.
Okay, so yes, whatever you are saying is right, that till now we do not have any vaccine or the treatment for the coronavirus. Okay, so we should wear the mask, but how it is protecting you from getting infected, or how it is protecting other people, how it is helpful, what is the mechanism? Okay,
And we wear masks so that minimal amount of virus, so that we breed minimal amount of virus.
Ajit, please repeat.
Ma'am, if we are infected, we wear masks so that when we exhale the air, we exhale minimum amount of virus. Because yes, ma'am, because the mask prevents the virus to.
Okay, so that means if the infected person is wearing the mask, so the viruses are not coming out from that person's body because the protection is there, and that is not going to affect other people, that you are saying. Okay, so Asti, unmute your mic and speak.
Ma'am, as we know that the droplets are present in the air when we talk, so if we wear masks, the droplet will not come to us through our in our respiratory system.
The others droplets.
Yes, ma'am, the infected droplets of COVID-19.
Yes, yes, fine. Yes, very good. So you both have like given a nice explanation. But one more explanation is there. Okay, three things are there by which the mask is helping us. First thing is when everyone is wearing the mask, so that whatever is there, whether the person is infected, not infected, healthy, unhealthy, whatever the reasons are there, the respiratory droplets which are coming out from the body will be there with that person only. Okay, so that is the protection by which others are not getting the infection. Any infection, not only the COVID-19, but any infection, whatever respiratory infection you have, common cough and cold or any other thing, so that will be protected. Fine. So first purpose is this. Second purpose is this: whenever you are in contact with the people and you are wearing the mask, so their respiratory droplets, because you know the actual condition. Many people are not at all wearing the mask, or if they are wearing, they keep their that thread is there on their ears, and they pull down their mask on the neck so that they can talk. While talking, they do that without understanding that in this way your purpose of wearing mask is not solved. You should wear the mask properly. That should cover your nose and mouth. And while speaking, you have to be little louder in order to be audible to the other people. Okay, so do not remove the mask when you are in public places, so that when someone is speaking and or someone who is not wearing the mask, when he sneezes or when he coughs, so that time the respiratory droplets which are coming on you will not be in direct contact. Okay, the protection is there, so that you will not be in direct contact of this thing, and whatever things are falling down on your mask or on your on your clothes, it is advised. You must have heard this thing, and you must be practicing also, that whenever you are coming from outside, whenever someone is coming from outside, he or she has to change the clothes, take bath, and then only they should be allowed to enter into the house. Okay, so you should not touch your mask again and again, or you should not use the same mask continuously for 2, 3, 4 days. So after washing it, you can dry them in sunlight, and after 2, 3 days, so you should have the 2, 3 masks with you to use if you are regularly going outside. So this way, what you are doing, you are not coming in the direct contact of the viruses. The third thing is what? We are so habitual of touching our own face with our own hands. So many people you have observed that while talking they rub their nose, or they put their finger in their mouth, they bite their nails, or when someone is writing, he or she is habitual of putting the pen in his or her mouth. And if someone is asking, okay, I have forgotten my pen, so please give me your pen, the same pen he or she is giving to another one. Many of you have the habit of putting your saliva in turning the page. So if you want to turn your page, you put your finger on your mouth, and with the use of saliva you are turning it. So n numbers of things are there, unhealthy practices which you are doing, or we all are doing. Not only students, but many adults are also doing the same, showing the same behavior. So in this way, what is happening when we are wearing the mask? We are stopping our own self from these unhealthy practices. When the nose and the mouth is covered, so we will not be able to touch the mouth or the nose with our unwashed hands. Okay, and that is why it is advised to wash your hands again and again, and use hand sanitizer whenever you are touching the surfaces, because you do not know that how many people have touched that surface before, or that object or the thing before. and how many of them are infected, or how many of them have used the healthy practices before touching any object. So we are not sure. So that is why we should wash your hands and use hand sanitizer whenever we are touching the surface, so that our hands will be free from infection. And when we wear the mask, our infection, we will not get the infection, and if the infected person is there, he will not be he will not affect the other people, infect the other people. Okay, so these purposes are solved. Now, why it is advised to keep distance from the people, that you aware that you should not be come in the direct contact of the people, but social gatherings and this thing, the crowded places are advised to be avoided. So what is the reason behind this? Earlier in the marriages also, the limit was 2000. And in this, when the coronavirus cases are more, so because of this condition, the government has reduced the limit to 100 people only. So why these type of, the events or the programs or the social gatherings are advised to avoid? What is the reason? Put your logic again and then give me the explanation. Put your logic. If we are wearing the mask, if we are, using the hand sanitizer, we will be in the contact of our own family members, relatives. Then why government is asking us to avoid these type of events? Or they have reduced the limits? Anyone? Swasti, do you want to speak?
Ma'am, we ourselves do not know that who are infected with virus. So, ma'am, so that is what the government is telling us, to be safe from everybody. Okay.
Archit, please raise your hand before speaking. Okay, so that I can give you permission to unmute your mic. Now, please repeat what you have said.
Ma'am, government has told us to take preventive measures from everyone, like our relatives and family members too, ma'am, because nobody knows that who is infected. So that is why we should take prevention from everybody.
Okay. So no one knows that who is infected, so government is advising you. But I was reading in the newspaper yesterday. The news was there that the government has set the 25,000 rupees penalty if more than 100 guests are found in the marriage ceremony. So people are, willingly and proudly they are giving the 25,000 rupees to the government. They are saying that, okay, count the members and, take the 25,000 rupees penalty. So now the situation is, we are not understanding the danger, the severity of this disease. Okay, where the situation when you are spending lakhs of rupees, 25,000 is not at all a big amount. But in these type of situations where you are gathering the people from different places, what will happen? Okay, try to understand, try to evaluate and analyze the situation. What will happen? First thing is, it is the human tendency that when you are happy, when you are in any emotional state, okay, when you are with your family members, with your relatives or with your friends, that means in a close company, and when you are happy in that emotional state, you forget that something wrong is going on. Okay, you forget that thing. So at home, when you are at home, you are watching television, okay, so many corona cases are there, this and that, and you are a little bit afraid of that. But if 5 friends decide that we will meet there, and you will promise your parents that I'll take care of everything, I'll wear mask, this and that. And when these 5 children or 5 individuals are there at a place, in that situation they forget the severity of the disease. Okay, so they usually in this situation people do not follow any rules and regulations given by someone else. You have witnessed the incidences in your neighborhood. You have seen the photographs and the videos which are there in the news channels and in newspaper also, that no one is wearing the mask in this marriage ceremony and not following the proper guidelines. First reason is this. Second, in this crowded in this social gathering, we increase the probability of getting infection. Okay, probability is increased. How? First thing is, if an infected person is at home, so 4 members of his family, they will get the infection from this person. Okay, so when the treatment will be there, so we have to treat these 5 people only. So when this person is going in the in any social gathering, he will be in contact of 50, 100, 200, 500 people. Fine. And similar to this person, the other members of the family or the the other members of the society, they will be gathered from different places. So if 10 individuals are there out of 500, 10 or maybe 4 infected person. So these 4 infected individuals or 10 infected individuals are increasing the probability of spreading infection. First thing. Second thing, they are giving infection to how many people? 500 people or 600 people. Now these 600 people, when they receive the infection, when they receive this virus, when they get this infection, after that they will go to their home. So their family members, their neighbors, the offices and the work, whatever they are doing, so they will be in contact with other people. So these 500 will give the infection to other 5,000. Okay, and that is why that disease is spreading. Try to understand the situation. Why this pandemic, how it has rapidly spread within 3 minutes, 3 months all over the how? Because of this reason only, our careless behavior towards this thing, our careless behavior towards unhealthy practices, towards the healthy practices. So because of this carelessness, we are facing a lot of difficulty. Okay, so this thing you have to keep in your mind. What are the things? First thing, that infection is spread by respiratory droplets, directly or indirectly. Directly, when the things are falling on you directly. Indirectly, when the infected person is using his or her hand, and he or she is touching the surfaces or the objects or the things. So in this way, the others may get infection. Like there are some safety measures, because there is no vaccine, there is no treatment also for that disorder. Whatever doctors are doing, they are treating the symptoms. They are not killing the coronavirus from the people. So we can protect ourselves by wearing the mask. Okay, by using the hand sanitizer or by washing our hands again and again whenever we are touching the surfaces, and by avoiding the crowded places. Okay, so these 3 things are there. You have now logic behind that. So children, in this way, you have also understood that whenever you receive the information, whenever someone is asking you to do something, there is a logic behind that. If you interpret the situation, if you analyze, if you put your logic into that, if you find out more about that you will have the better choices. Why? Because you will be sure that, okay, because of this reason someone is asking me to do that thing, so you will have the proper and you will have the reasoned judgment, reasoned decision with you. Understood? Okay. Any question or anything which you want to ask from me? You can raise your hand. Any question?